right, welcome back. Our next guest it's an honor. She's been featured in several magazines, including OWN Magazine, Essence, Black Enterprise. She's known as a trailblazer, a chainbreaker.
Okay.
She is an author of a book called Breaking the Chains from Hurting to Healing. She's a play producer, a public speaker, and she's been honored by President Obama.
Okay.
Welcome to our show, Dr. Katrina.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I don't think that my intro did you justice. Okay. Can you give us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Oh, wow. When people always ask me that, I'm like, I don't know, what is it that you need? Because I do so much. And so for me, it's hard to just talk about myself, but what I tell people that across the country, I'm known as the Chainbreaker.
Yes.
So whatever challenges there is, I see none because I break all those barriers.
Okay.
And so what I do is that I push people into their purpose. So sometimes they call me a pimp.
Oh, I like that.
But pimp in a good way. So the acronym for pimp is pushed into my promise.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, pushed
like
into
that.
my promise. And so anybody who has a dream, who has a vision, and they're ready to put action to it and see it comes to life, they call me. That's what I do.
Okay. Well, I was like, so can I be your hoe? Like,
I like that. Like, hit me.
right? I was
Hit
like,
me.
Don't make me come up with an
I know, because I was like, I don't know what to say. A happy one. Okay.
Yes. So it's like we have shirts and everything with pimp on there, and I had some people was like, no, that's not going to be a good look for your brand, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? People are wearing them.
Yes.
Right.
And they know what they mean. It makes people stop.
Right.
Because I always tell people I'm a peculiar person. I never follow the rules.
Right.
You know, as long as they're legal, we keep it going.
There
so
you go.
anything you tell me that I cannot have, I'm
gonna
done.
have. Okay.
Just even if I don't even like to do it, I'm gonna do it because you said I can't do it.
Rebellious
Yeah.
by nature. I love it. I'm moving after my own heart.
So,
That is powerful. Well, Dr. Katrina, I know that you travel the country and you advocate for victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, human trafficking. What is some of the inspiration behind the humanitarianism and philanthropy work that you do?
well, I really didn't get it until I was grown, but at the age of 9, I experienced sexual abuse by someone in the church, someone that I trusted. And so from there, going through that experience caused a whole domino effect of things to happen. I became a teen parent at an earlier age because I began to act out. Because, you know, the time I grew up in, don't talk about it, you can't say anything, don't tell anyone. And so my family had no idea that I had experienced that.
Wow.
And so for so long, I went through that. Of course, I started to cling towards men who wasn't good for me. And so when I was in college, I went through domestic violence to the point where I had a knife put to my throat. And then 2 years later, the FBI looked for me because the person had actually killed someone. And so, you know, they did a whole new story on it. A&E did some things on it as well. And so my passion I began to work with women who have experienced sexual abuse, kids, and women who have been through domestic violence, but I never really knew why I was so good at it. Because what we began to realize when I started to get help was that I had suppressed everything that had happened to me.
Yeah.
And so in 2012, my spiritual father was like, it's time for you to tell your story. I was like, I don't have a story. I just work with people, you know. And then my friend called me in 2013 and she was like, you have to be obedient because God is telling me to tell you. It's time for you to share your story. And then was when I began to say, I don't have time to write a book. She said, I will help you. I will help you get organized. I was like, well, what am I gonna talk about? because I'm Dr. Catrina Pullum. Everybody knows me. I have it together. And so it was more so of, will I lose my friends? What will people think about me? And so after some time of going back and forth with her, I said, God, I would only do it if people will be healed, if people will be empowered. And so in June of 2014, we wrote the book. Yes. We wrote, thank you. We wrote the book. And when I say that the book is still going, we turned it into a stage play. It's in pre-production for a documentary. We're meeting with someone to do the script for it. So it's in Hollywood at the Writers Guild of America for that. And so when I say that people, it was originally just for women, but men have purchased my book. Men have been healed as well. And when we did the stage play, we got so many reviews from it where people's like, you really went through that. But they begin to deal with things that they were going through. And so anything that I touch, it has to be for God's purpose. That's right. It has to be for his people. It's not about me. And so, and last year, I did the journey of the Chainbreakers. That's when I took on other women and their stories, and we did an anthology. And so those women begin to share their stories from tragedy to triumph. And so it's still going. I have some other things, other platforms as well since the book has come out. So
what do you say you've learned after writing the book? Like, what would you say is something that you've learned, that your one takeaway from the book writing process?
From the writing process, more of healing. Not being ashamed of who I am. And one thing that I did realize is that everything that I went through it because God knew his purpose for me already. That's why it's so calming, and it's like an out-of-body experience when I'm counseling a child that's been through sexual abuse, when I'm working with a woman who's experienced domestic violence. And I have a male that I'm getting ready to tell his story on the stage. He went through sexual abuse. And so I just feel like everything that I went through was just temporary, because how can I be transparent and help other people if I don't know what they're going through?
That's right.
That's powerful.
Well, I have a question. Okay, so I'm going to change the wheel a little bit. So you were honored by Barack Obama, first African American Black president, and you were also honored by the state representatives.
State representatives, U.S. congressmen, mayors. I even have a Chainbreaker Day. Not only here in Dallas, but in Louisiana as well.
That is
so, and with President Obama, it was a real shock. I think it was like 2015. I received the Martin Luther King Community Award because of all the work that I do in the community with child sexual abuse, with outreach, domestic violence. I also have a partnership with the Boston's District Attorney Office. They have a campaign, so my eyes travel the country. So there's a campaign out there that's called Now You See. And so what they do, they take kids' eyes, survivors of sexual abuse. They also take some adults as well. They take a picture of our eyes and they tell a snippet of our story. And so our eyes travel the country and people take pictures with them, and we use it as a part of the campaign. And my eyes was also on display in the Boston Convention Center for like 6 months.
Wow.
So, yes.
You're doing some amazing, inspiring
Thank
work.
you.
Yes. So where can people find out, or where can people purchase the book? Where can people...
They can purchase the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, my website at www.drdrcat CatrinaPullum.com, and my website as well. But if you Google it, it'll come up.
Okay. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to watch this episode and are going to feel super inspired and want to get in touch with you. How can they do that?
www.drkatrinapullum.com, or you can find me on social media at Dr. Catrina, DrCatrina.
Awesome. Well, we're so impressed by you, like so beyond impressed. And we are just hoping that we can continue to collaborate and watch your journey and see the amazing things that you're going to be achieving. Did you want to say?
Yes, on your media, on the biography, I read something about MC Light.
Yes.
Do you manage her?
I am on her management team.
I had to ask that. They don't know who MC Light is. I know who MC Light is. They don't know. We know. They don't know about her. I love this. This is our time.
She's trying to age shame us, right?
Our time. Yes, I am on her management team. I do her PR. And I sit on the board for her nonprofit, Hip Hop Sisters Foundation, Educate Our Men Scholarship Fund. So next Saturday, we will be in Las Vegas for Soul Train Awards.
Don't you want to take a sister?
Because every Soul Train Awards, we have a partnership with BET. They allow MC Light, Dr. Lynn Richardson, to come on, and they get to present a lucky student with a $50,000 scholarship. And so I've been with her for at least 4 years, following her. Dr. Lynn, who is the celebrity financial guru. You can catch her on Steve Harvey. So, you know, between them getting my money right.
My money right.
I get my money right with Dr. Lynn, and I take some of my money and pour back into the Educate Our Men. And it's specifically for African American men, because there is a low percentage of African American males that's going to college. And so we don't want them to have an excuse of, I don't have any money. So if you want to donate to the scholarship fund, you can go to www.educateourmen.org, or if you're interested in being a board member, contact me.
Okay.
So,
well, be sure to let MC Light. She's got a fan.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. Well, thank you again, Dr. Catrina, for coming on the show. We greatly appreciate you and all the work that you're doing in the community. I mean, all the awards that you've received are well deserved, and we are following your journey all the way.
thank you.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.